Okay, what I'm going to do in this video is show you how to use Claude Code combined with the Notion MCP server and the Instantly MCP server to launch a brand new email campaign. Now, in this case, we are using an MPC campaign. So that's this down here, MPC. This stands for Most Placeable Candidate. So this is specific to recruitment agencies, which is who we work with here at Refine Flow. So an MPC campaign, for anyone who's not familiar, is essentially where you take a great candidate's information from their CV and reach out to hiring decision makers or relevant decision makers with their profile to try and get on a meeting. Okay, it's pretty time consuming, but with Claude Code, we can do this all automatically. So this here is VS Code. If you're not familiar, it's basically an interface where we can interact with Claude Code in a more nice way rather than using like the terminal, for example. So what we're going to do is say here, launch, actually, I'll just speak. Launch a new MPC campaign for Recruiter. MPC campaign for Recruiter. And also, while that's doing that, I'm going to open up a new conversation and then also get Claude to explain the flow end to end so you can see what's actually happening in the background here. Explain my MPC skill end to end. What happens when I tell you to do this? Okay, so now it's going to explain that as well while we process this here. So what's essentially happening is Claude Code is connected to my Notion MCP server and my Instantly MCP server. It's going to go into this page here and grab the MPC. So I've put this information in. So the location, the target companies, the target decision makers, and the candidate profile. And it's also going to go into this page here, which is the client API page, which I'm obviously not going to click into, but there's just API keys stored in there. This is the client's Instantly. So Instantly is an email sequencing platform. So it's going to also connect here and create a new campaign, which we'll see in a minute. But just jumping back here into Claude Code, let me just turn on bypass permissions. So it's just going to do it all for me. And then here, so this is what's happening. So I've said, trigger this MPC campaign for client. So the client up there was Recruiter. So the step 0, we're going to load all of the cold email knowledge. So I have another skill called cold email that has all of my best practices in terms of copywriting, templates, offers, design, deliverability, all of that stuff. So it's going to load all of that knowledge. It's then going to determine, whether an MPC campaign needs to be launched. So it's going to compare whether we already have one live, because if there's one live, it won't launch another. It's then going to pull all of the client's onboarding form data from Notion. So this would be all of the information about their business and their ICP, so their target market, so that we can compare the two, and this will come in handy a bit later. Like it says there, we'll then pull the client's API key from the API key page, which is that page down here. And then what it does, which is pretty cool here, because this normally takes quite a lot of time, it analyzes all of the client's existing campaigns, so the reply rates, the open rates, all of that stuff. And then essentially it uses all of this data to inform its decision making when making new copywriting going forward. So this is pretty important. What we'll then do is design the campaign. Then it generates a sales navigator URL. So this is the lead list section. So it's going to give us that URL and then start scraping that URL. What then happens is it writes the copy for the campaign as well. So it will use lots of syntaxing and personalization variables, which we'll see in a minute. It then sends me a pre-send checklist and I approve, and then it does all of this in instantly here. So if we just come back to the Claude that's actually whipping this up for us. So what it's done so far is it's gone through and read all of the skills. So the cold email skill, it's then gone into Notion and got all of that data. It's just messing around here in Notion. And then what it's done here is put together the profile. So it's grabbed this from the Notion. Now it's go ahead and generating a Sales Navigator URL based upon that specific candidate that we're using. So obviously we have the location, the companies and decision makers that we want to go after. So it's using that information combined with another skill that I have set up, which is basically it is instructing Claude exactly how to craft a Sales Navigator URL, because these are notoriously quite strict in terms of how you can actually do it. So just coming down here, so what it's done is given me the Sales Navigator URL, because I always ask for approval before it goes ahead and actually starts scraping the data. So I'll open this up. And this is what it's given me. So 11 to 50, which is great. Okay, so I don't know what happened there, but it's reloading. So we've got 11 to 50. Privately held, I don't really know. I'm just going to delete that. I don't want that in there. Then we've got all of the states that we want to target, which is great. We've then got the industries, great. And then we've also got a Boolean search of the specific decision makers that we need to be targeting. So this candidate is a software engineer. So we want CTOs, head of engineering, director of engineering, VP product, head of HR, VP people. Yeah, this looks great. So we've got a big list here of all of the specific people. Looks good. We're not going to scrape 63,000. We'll probably just go for maybe 2,500 or so. But yeah, this looks good. So I'll go back to here to Claude Code and I'll say I approve. And it's going to continue and start with the scrape as well. So just while it does this, we'll go up to our platform that we're using, which is Vein. So this is this one here. So Vein essentially is a scraping platform that we can use to get data from LinkedIn, essentially. So you'll see here in a minute when it loads through, this will start a scrape as well. And I'll just cut back in when that's ready, because it might take a second here. Okay, so we're back. The scrape has started, and what it's doing now is giving me all of the copywriting to use for this candidate. So as you can see, it's just pumping all through the variants here, so we can split test the different steps, all of the variants here, different steps. These look good, and then it's also setting up the campaign settings here as well. I'm just going to approve. I haven't read through it in depth, but just for the purposes of this video, I'll just approve it for now. I would normally just have a quick check over those, but that's fine in this case. So it's now creating this campaign within instantly as well. So what I'll do is, again, cut back when that's finished. It should take a couple of seconds here. Okay, wow, we don't even need to come back. It's already created. So in the instantly here, there should be a new campaign when I refresh called Recruiter MPC 1. So that should be there. Great. So that's there, and it's now, Claude is now connected into instantly and adding the sequences here. So it's just patching it with the full sequences. This may take a second, so I'll cut back in when this is ready for you. Okay, so it looks like the campaign was created successfully. So if we jump into instantly here, you can see that it's created all of the copywriting in all of the different steps, step 3 and step 4. And what it's also done is spin taxing, which is essentially where it picks a random element to use for deliverability enhancements. So the only thing that I need to do from this point is really just go in and make sure that it's formatted a bit nicer, just like this, just sort of add in spaces, like that, location. Okay, cool. And then obviously the variables here will get filled in when I process the leads through into the campaign. But like you can see, this is super powerful. Like, I've just created a campaign here just in a matter of 5, 6, 7 minutes. And this is all spin taxed, split testing, multiple steps. And then we've got a lead list that's being scraped currently as well, which is this one here that we're going to be sending to. And this is all done literally in Claude Code, just telling it what to do. with a couple of skills that I've already baked into it. So we've got the cold email skill, we've got the Sales Navigator URL skill, and then we've got this skill here, which is the MPC skill, which is specific to recruitment. Okay, so this is just a quick whistle-top tour on how to use Claude Code to actually do things that will generate revenue. So as soon as I launch this campaign, this could start generating revenue. Okay, so that's really A to B. From this point on my end, all I need to do is just, like I say, clean this up and we're good to go. But yeah, that is everything. Any suggestions on Claude Code, drop them in the comments and I can get another tutorial up for you guys as well.